But yeah. And then there's the idea that, like, I believe there's something in the walls. Because when they did all that construction to baby houses, there's something in these buildings that wasn't in these buildings before. um, and I'm pretty sure all of these bricks on this on the the walls of the building, like these, there are bricks that are lighter color bricks than the original bricks that are on this building. And when I take my EMF reader and I go over some of these lighter bricks, the meter itself it goes way above the threshold of 40 microtesla, and that's just primarily over the lighter bricks, not necessarily just specific parts of the building, but it's literally coming from, like, if I go over the lighter bricks with an EMF reader, the reader will start to the alarm will go off only over the lighter bricks. Now, I heard some things in the past about about construction companies that are working with the secret society, and they basically um, can put specific material in. They mix certain materials into the cement that basically make bricks and things of that sort, or the whatever content, the stuff that they use to make bricks. And then those bricks actually may be used as, I guess you could say, transmitters or whatever. I don't know for certain how true that is, but I definitely um, heard it from someone who claimed he was a contractor. Um, Maybe I could find it one day. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, but my main reason for making this video was because I am asking for just a lot of positive vibes and prayers, because um, I am trying to see if I can, you know, um, be prosperous in a way that I kind of necessarily um, didn't really expect to get myself into so fast. Um, Long story short, I remember I was telling y'all that I've been seeing someone, and she has a son, and her family, they're planning on trying to leave the country because some information that they got that basically is stating that, like, hey, this country's going down and we not trying to stay here to be around it. So with that being said, the family is trying to leave, like, within the next, like, 2 months. And her and her son, they're not necessarily, they're like, she doesn't necessarily want to leave New York, and I get that. Me personally, I really truly want to leave New York myself, but like I said, I got my mother here, and I'm not going to leave my mother. You know, because right now I'm literally the only one who can, like, come in, check on her, do things for her that she can't necessarily do for herself or whatever. Or if she gets sick, I'm the only one here who's mobile enough and have the free time enough to do what she needs to have done. So it's like, I'm here. So running is not an option for me. I have to endure, and I have to work my way through this. So if I'm going to be here, I'm going to put every ounce of everything I have into exposing all of this stuff. Now, some would say, well, isn't that kind of like counterproductive? Because what if you get killed and then your mother's by herself? I'm like, I'm not going to think like that. And then even so, God has been keeping my mother for so long, and through so much. And she knows about targeting. She's been targeted by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. So she knows about like being targeted by some big people. Me, I'm being targeted by, excuse my language, some hood niggas who got their hands on some technology. You know, so and then it's like I'm not necessarily I'm not running nowhere and I'm not hiding nowhere either. I leave the hiding for them. Let them hide. I don't do subliminals. If you got a problem with me, tell me. If I got a problem with you, I'm gonna let you know. But me, that's never been who I am because I don't usually have problems with people. And I don't constantly allow myself to be around someone I have a problem with. That sounds stupid. That sounds that sounds irresponsible of your own, you know, peace. Like not irresponsible of your own peace, but that sounds like detrimental to your own peace. Why would you constantly place yourself around someone that you have problems with? But anyway, so now they're mad at me because of what I said, but I call it as I see it. I call the devil out when I see it. When I see him, I call out every single demon, every evil spirit, fallen angel that has taken possession of a human being. You know, gaslighters get on the train. They talk crazy all they want. And look, now it starts back up. I don't. I'm not. First and foremost, I treat every single person I ever come across with respect. I don't disrespect nobody. And then like, even if I don't agree with what you do, right? I may or may not say something to you about it, but for the most part, I'm always in the realm of protecting my peace. And as long as, you're not like trying to harass someone who basically did not instigate or did not do anything to you to be, harassed, then you should not hear from me. Because I believe that no matter what, the energy that you produce in this world, the energy that you produce and you put out, you will get it back. You will definitely get it back, and for some people, you'll get it back tenfold. So I already see where this is going with this technology, actually, and then the hands that they have it in. Yeah, it's going to get really bad before it gets any better. And for the most part, what I see in the future is going to be a lot of chest pumping and trying to prove who has the better uses of the technology or who can do this better and da da da. Usually when stuff like that happens, people die even more. Why? Because it's arrogancy, pride, things of that sort. So I'm banking on it. I I don't know if I'll be alive to see it, but I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty certain that at some point, all of this is gonna be just like it's literally just going to become like it's gonna go to shit. And you know what? I'm all for it because usually what happens, I mean, yeah, during certain times of turmoil, a lot of innocent, good people probably end up dying, but also at the same time, it's not as many of the good people that end up dying, but it's also a lot of the problematic people that end up dying the most. Why? Because they always feel like they have the most to prove. Most people who feel like they have so much to prove, they always end up putting themselves in situations that they usually can't really walk away from. So I'm banking on, I'm already expecting them to do whatever to me. Like I'm already expecting them to have some fake crime set up so then, cops could try to, come and say I'm under arrest for whatever it is. I'm already expecting that. I'm already expecting one day, they probably got some, mind manipulated, it could be like a homeless person or whatever, and he's flipping out or whatever, whatever his case is, and he probably walks up on me one day and I don't see it coming, and he probably like, I don't know, stabs me or something. I'm already expecting everything because, well, people who tell the truth end up dying. And luckily for me, I don't cling to my physical life. Why? Because I am fully in acknowledgement of my spiritual body, my light body. I am in full acknowledgement of my light body. I'm in full acknowledgement of my godly body. So my flesh, they can take my flesh. They could take my flesh. You know, and I already believe that no matter what, God is going to make sure that, like, if I'm taken from this world, God is going to make sure everyone that you know that is doing his will and trying to do their best to overcome everything that's happening in this world, he will make sure that they are taken care of too. But right now, I have to continue to do what is necessary to expose the evils of this world. My mom, she's scared for me. Um, she thinks I give the devil too much power by acknowledging everything that's going on. And I'm like, I don't think I'm giving it too much power. I'm calling him out of the shadows. Or not even calling him out of the shadows. I'm basically shedding light on the shadows so that there's nowhere for them to hide. So every time they do something, I'm recording it somehow. That they're, every time that there's something of a significance that affects my life in some way, I'm recording it. And the fact that I understand at least some of the basics of this technology, but of basically, you know, taking the charged particles that's in the air and then you focusing it on a target who basically is producing an electromagnetic field, making them conductive to the charged particles that's in the air. I'm already like, aware of what's happening. I'm aware of scalar weaponization. I'm aware of the fact that, I mean, there's no secret that, the military contracts weapons out to, you know, third parties and things of that sort. That there's no secret in that. Raytheon, um, what is it? Gunther? I forgot. Um, but yeah. Uh, yeah, you know what it feels like? It's as if like if if I didn't have the top of my skull on, right? It's as if like someone was took a like a probe or took like some type of like metal pole, right? And then they stuck it into my brain, and then they sent like a small, like electric like shock or like a small electrical pulse. And then that pulse basically hits several nerves, and then it's like affecting different parts of the brain. And this is what's happening. You know, and it's amazing to me because they talk so much about national security. And I'm like, motherfuckers, do y'all realize You're talking about national security, but people who don't give a damn about national security, but they care much more about money. They basically can say fuck your national security and extract every bit of information from whether it's the president's mind or it's the U.S. general, U.S. general's mind, or whatever the case may be. It could, you know, Mayor Mayor Eric Adams. They can basically extract information from anybody's mind that they want. Now, here's the other part too. What if all these people are actually a part of it too? Because they're always like, he obviously don't know that it's a secret society, and New York City is all, New York City is majority part of the secret society. Because I mean, when you think about it, New York City is basically considered a smart city. There's frequencies everywhere. There's probably data all over the place. Just because I can't see it or certain people can't see it doesn't mean there probably isn't like hologram like banners and data, like information sheets and whatever that pop up when a person comes within a certain feet of another person or whatever the case may be. Because I mean, think about it. It's like they basically turn people's visual cortex into like a augmented reality, so they can actually see the near infrared images that the average person, let's just say the human, can't see, because they're transhuman. They've modified the brain so that they can see broader spectrums of light. They modified the brain so that they can probably hear more things or whatever, whatever the case may be. But it's like it's not impossible to detect these things. I can literally hold my hand out and I can feel the charged particles passing through my hand and coming towards my body. I can literally feel the like, it's like probably millions and trillions of charged particles that are like passing through my hand. And then it just like goes, and then it just like connects right to my mind. That was a good spot right there. Now the best part about it is every time someone was called crazy about specific, conspiracies and things of that sort, years later, that information comes out, and then all of a sudden, that person that everybody was calling crazy is no longer crazy. Now, that person was I don't know, they became like a very important person now in history because they actually was trying to warn people of the very thing that ends up happening later into the future. So, and then the handlers, they're like, oh, everybody, mad people lost respect for you, and I'm like, I don't care. They condone they condone people using technology to sexually assault and rape men, women, and children just because they can get away with it and there's no DNA trace. All they got to do is tap into that person's central nervous system, jump into that person's mind when they're sleeping, and then code up a specific type of dream, transmit that dream into that person's mind, and next thing you know, they can basically have sex with that person, and they can have sex with that person. That person through their I think it's peripheral nervous system or sensory nervous system, but they'll be able to feel it, you know. And I'm like, there's no way that they're actually these politicians are talking about how they're trying to like save America and whatnot, but they're not listening to the people. They're not trying to actually listen to the people who are, basically guinea pigs to the very things that should be banned. Honestly, I mean, but you know what? I guess we just gotta wait to see. We just gotta continue to just be patient, endure, and wait and see. Because, quite honestly, I'm I'm pretty, I would say I'm pretty removed from technology. Like if there was a blackout or a solar flare that basically knocked out all electricity, I think I would be all right. I mean, if anything, I rely on God anyway. I don't rely on myself so heavily anymore. I rely on God. Whenever things feel like it's getting a little too much for me, I just say, you know what, God, I'ma just give everything to you, and I'ma just work towards something, and then and then God or Christ or guardian angels, they're gonna guide me through. They're gonna present certain things in my path as I'm working towards something. They're gonna present certain things in my path that's basically gonna help me along the way. Just like what um, my lady's situation. Because there was the idea that I said, I was like, I could, move in and help, with the rent. But then, she was like, she doesn't necessarily, the father don't necessarily want, you know, another man moving in around his son. So I'm just like, I mean, I understand that. So I'm not really trying to mess up the co-parenting, situation. So, this is when you remember, peace be still. Peace be still, and blesses the man who is slow to anger. Blessed is the man who is slow to anger. And you remember, they're doing everything in their power to try to destroy you, all while you remain peaceful the entire time. Blessed is the man or woman who is slow to anger. They're going to try everything in their power to try to destroy me. They're going to try to destroy my health, destroy my body. At some point, they're probably going to try to find some way to get me, sabotage my job, probably have people that I work around. You see the area where we unload, the carts and everything, and everybody get their route. Probably have, you know, either people that I work with or random people in the street just walk by, and while I'm like setting up my, my orders, in my bins or whatever, somebody just walks by and take a bag or something like that, and I not notice it, you know. And then next thing you know, because after a while, the company would think, well, you have these, you've been consistently missing a bag from such and such routes, we're gonna have to let you go. So it's like, you know, I I already envision these things. I don't focus on it. I envision these things because they are possible to happen. The reason why I envision them, because I'm already trying to mentally work myself through the emotions of what I would feel if it were to happen. So if it ever does happen, then I'm basically, it's like I expected this because they are exactly who they are. So now I just have to adjust and continue living my life. I mean, it's not that simple, but it's said simply enough, because that's basically what you got to do in that situation. But anyway, yeah, send me some good vibrations, some prayers, um, whatever, because I'm going to do my best to try to be as supportive as I can, to her, even with the income that I do have. Like, I'm grateful to have a job, even as a TI, um, and, I think to myself, like, huh, if I would have listened to them and joined the NYPD, I mean, I would probably make a decent salary, you know. But at the same time, no, it doesn't sound morally or ethically right to join a police force that you had no intentions of joining, but you join it because someone threatened you to join the police department. Nah, I'm not doing that. Plus, that sounds like I would actually put my comrades in danger too. Because if I'm being remote neural monitored, and I'm pretty sure there's probably several cops out there that's remote neural monitored, and that's probably why a lot of investigations kind of go fluey, because people are being monitored through their visual cortex. And if you don't know that you're being monitored, then it's kind of like, this is when it's important that the information gets out there, so then people can actually start to think outside the box. Maybe maybe my case isn't just maybe my case didn't just fall through because of something that's supposed to have been naturally happening. Maybe my case didn't fall through because somebody infiltrated and they basically knew everything that I was doing in my case. So I'm just like, no, I would not join the police department, because that would not only put myself in even more danger. Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm probably in just as much danger as any cop out there, because now I got now I got people in the streets looking to see harm done to me. So it's like, um, you know, um, and hell, all of this is because what they claimed that I wasn't moving properly when I moved from Brooklyn to the Bronx. And no, that wasn't when, I think they're referring to when quarantine happened. And then, like, I wasn't necessarily in my healthiest phase after like the first 3-4 months, because it was just like cabin fever. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I definitely was dabbling in some things and that weren't too healthy. So there's that. Then there were probably phone conversations that they basically were, zoning in. And because the handlers who's messing with me, they lived on down the hall from me, one next door, then one upstairs from me. And, they basically were probably listening in the phone conversations, and, they probably heard me speaking to people from Brooklyn, and then they were just like, oh, he was talking mad shit about people in the Bronx. And I'm like, first of all, no, I wasn't. Because if anything, first and foremost, um, every borough in New York City has just about the same amount of shit that you're gonna see in the next borough. So if anything, that was more of a personal thing from I call him Michael, the main guy, the one who basically created the whole. It might have been street theater for the girl to run out into the hallway screaming, call the police, he hit me, because she said something disrespectful to his mother. Um, you can go back to vlog number 5 if you want to hear that whole story. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I've been tired of this world for a long time. I've been tired, cause like it's just too much bullshit. It's too much bullshit. Like, I just want to live a normal, decent life. I don't do anything to nobody. I don't be going around, you know, just talking shit about people. If you do something that seems immoral or unethical, then yeah, I'm gonna have a comment about it. But most of the time I don't even tell them about it. They're taking it upon themselves to actually go into a person's mind and to actually look for statements and comments that would piss themselves off. Why are you actively going out of your way to look for people who are thinking things that will piss you off? Do you know how sad that must be to live your life like that? Like, you actually use technology just so that you can go into people's minds and find things in their mind that they're thinking that will piss you off. Do you know how sad and just disappointing your life must be that you actually want to go into people's minds to look for things that will piss you off? That means you literally have no peace in your life. You have zero peace. You have no love. Enlightenment is the farthest thing away from you. Like, neutrality is at like 500 on that frequency scale. I think neutrality is like 500. They're operating on everything below neutrality. So, yeah, and I mean, they could get as mad as they want. I mean, they're the ones who disrupted my peace. So if they don't want to hear the truth, then they shouldn't have been disrupting my peace. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get off this and get back to trying to see if I could look up some resources for her, because I mean, I could do as much as I can with the resources that I have, but not gonna lie, I don't necessarily have child care money. But I mean, at the same time, he got his father also helping out. So it's like, I'm not gonna put that pressure on me, and she's not asking to put that pressure on me either. The father's it, but it is something you want to take in consideration when you are dating someone who has a child. So. But anyway, yeah, send me those good vibes, and I'll keep y'all posted on what's going on. This is Chris James, live in Brooklyn, New York. 33 years old. Jesus died when he was 33. Was it 33 or 32? I forgot. I done said that so many times because they talk so much about, how something's going to happen to me, or he's not going to be here much longer. That's how Jasmine, I like to call her. Really cute, like mocha, like a milk chocolate, not even milk chocolate, she's like brown skin, like Erykah Badu. Yo, I swear she looks like Erykah Badu. she looks like Erykah Badu to me. She wears glasses. I don't know what her hair look like nowadays, but I just know she look good. I used to piss them off and use my imagination to visualize myself doing things with her, and they used to piss off her boyfriend or her baby's father, Michael. I call him Michael. I don't know none of their real names, but yeah. They used to piss them off, and I used to get some giggles out of that. Cause I used to be like, "Why are you getting mad? That's your girl. All I'm doing is thinking." I'm like, she's sitting right next to you, and you getting mad because I'm just thinking. Yo, that's why I was like, Lord, keep me close because I know I already won. I know I already won. I just have to endure and see what I can do to help everybody else that's suffering too. So, but yeah. All right. I'm getting off this. I'm tired too. What is it? It's already 8:04. Gotta get up for work in like, let me see, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So in about 6.5 hours, I gotta get up for work. Boy. Anyway, as always, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.